So we have Ankush with us from Core. I would like to start with asking a very simple question, taking from where Ajay has left, right? I will just pick one of the point, which is the conversational AI, and it came to my mind, of course, to talk about Core to start with. But if you could help us to know and the audience, what exactly is a conversational AI? Why it is not called a chatbot only? Chatbot with advanced features. Why it is conversational? What does it make it a conversational?
Right. Yeah. Thanks, Rohit, for asking this. Yeah. So we do uh, just AI, conversational AI chatbot, kind of day and night. Uh, See, the conversational AI, I would say it's a tech. It's a tech platform. It's not the solution as such. Um, as you know, we cannot just take tech and give it to the masses and give it to the citizens or use it. We have to use the tech and build some meaningful applications, and that application would be chatbot or voice bot or video bot or probably virtual assistant. So so to just kind of summarize, conversational AI is a platform. It's a tech platform with which we create applications like chatbot, voice bot, and video bots.
Interesting. Thanks for
Yeah.
simplifying that. So it's not just limited to one way to look at it, right? Rather, it's a platform where you keep evolving, you keep building different channels of a communication. So in a way, you are establishing new mode of communicating with machines, and that's what you mentioned about a conversational AI.
That's correct.
But I have a follow-up question in mind.
Okay. Yes, please.
How AI, cloud, and all this conversion between AI, cloud, and IoT, for example, right? When you talk about phone talking to you or a car talking to you, you talk about an IoT. Then you also talk about a cloud and AI. How is it all these things, are converging together and provide opportunities to build solutions? Those are sector agnostic, cost effective, and easy to adopt. For example, if you build something, right, which is just responding to a human question, it's not just question is not just limited to one industry, right? It could be applicable to the other industry. So there are a lot of solutions which are being built, which are very sector agnostic, cost effective, and easy to adopt. But how these things are coming up together in terms of the AI, cloud, and IoT, and when we talk about a conversational AI.
Yeah. So very comprehensive question. I think I would really want to talk a lot, and let me see how much I can cover in the time allocated to me. If you see, you said AI, cloud, and IoT, right? Uh, so in these lines, we can have multiple other technologies also. But if you see, if I go to basic, why AI is a buzz now? So whoever has done, say, engineering, say 20, 30 years ago, they not study anything which is not being implemented now in concept of the real technology algorithms. Now what has happened, so that whatever we studied, that has become more accessible, right? So data is more, computing is cheaper, um, the bandwidth is easily accessible at low cost, and GPUs and CPUs we can span in spur of seconds, not even minutes. So AI was there, but not much talked about, but not that meaningful because of lack of computing accessibility and the data. And yes, a bit of algorithm, but people were smart even that time to even write the algorithms. The main, I think, was lacking was the computing and the data to kind of leverage the history and leverage the experience what users have it, and make it a repeatable model in the form of virtual assistants. So yeah, so it's just about kind of making it accessible. And IoT, yes, so things were even done earlier on IoT, but now things are so much well packaged. If you think about Raspberry Pi, so if more about how we provide the solution. We have even provided AI for a manufacturing company. We integrated with their kind of cigarette manufacturing machines using Raspberry Pi. So we integrated AI with the tech. You think about, say, Alexa for manufacturing, not just limited to home lighting and entertainment. So think about providing AI in manufacturing tech in combination with IoT. Basic concepts, but now things are being packaged in IoT form, AI form, and even cloud. So it's cloud for us, but it's actually a physical server somewhere in Mumbai, in Pune, other data centers where it's coming up, right? It's how earlier we used to have blade servers. In one blade server, say 10 V running. It's the same concept, just the package is different. Now, so if I now talk about the philosophy of all this conversational AI chatbot, why these things are important, to give some kind of background, and why we came into this industry, right? If you see there are hundreds of chatbot companies, if not thousands, uh, uh, and we know that. And in fact, we are the youngest in this space. We are really the youngest. Yeah, Puneet, I could see you're not. We are really the youngest. You can pick up any company you see; they would have kind of launched before us. What we had kind of realized, right? So I myself am from corporate. I had around 40, 15 years of experience before starting this. What in while building the SaaS based platforms and enterprise tech, we found out it's not just the functional and the technical requirements what matters when we build, not just the software product, but any other product also. Pick up any three or four companies in any sector, right? Whether it's FMCG, travel, or BF, any three or four companies in any sector, they have what consumers look for. You think about you think in your mind any travel or FMCG, any retail company. So they have what consumers are, but still in our mind we know, hey, this is number one company, right? I would prefer to do business, or I would prefer to buy stuff from that company. Number one, number two, number three. So is that beyond functional and beyond technical? So I think it's about user experience, right? It's about how user gets engaged and how fast companies understand their users, uh, respond to them. May not solve all the problems, right? So we are human beings, right? So we want to be heard. We all know all problems cannot be solved, especially now the population is growing and even consumers are growing from each company. So giving ears is important, but why then, of course, why not solve the same problems which we have already solved? And so right, so if you see our client list, we always try to give virtual assistant to the big customers. So we don't have any small client on our customer as of now, because see the big customers having big consumers to kind of cater, and they would have already solved that problem for others, and it is easy to repeat. And see, we build bots, we build virtual assistant. We also know we consumers, we don't want to talk to the bots, right? If you see the most of our videos are on, we are social beings, we want to talk to the real people. So if it's a small company having less users, maybe a company getting 10 to 20 calls a day, no one can replace humans, right? So it's just argumentation when there are so many calls, so many customer queries, and then to kind of cater to that. So we politely say no to many companies who reached out to us where they actually don't need the chatbots. So now, while now we understand, hey, consumer experience, user experience is important, but we have also done multiple surveys to find out, hey, now so many consumers who I'm talking about, they all must have different problems, and how do we solve it? But again, very, very surprisingly, we saw any industry, any company, you pick up, you can really average very, very clearly, you can average around 70% of the questions, complaints, or suggestions, or issues which consumers come up with, they are saying. Any industry, any company, right? So 70%, not 100%. So it's just about identifying those 70% and automating that. So and automating means those questions or problems or issues should have been probably once solved by any application or manually, and then we kind of use automation to kind of get it done automatically. And now where the AI comes in. So now if you see, um, there are multiple people, multiple languages, and some prefer to chat, some prefer to interact by voice, some prefer to interact with video, and even some prefer to come to web, mobile, or WhatsApp, and SMS, or phone call. And um, so you see, right? So we users should be free to talk to any company in the format of their choice, like voice, text, or video, based on the circumstances they are in, and any language of their choice, while limited to just English, Hindi, if I talk about Indian context, right? So Hindi is North Indian languages, right? Not many people kind of down south speak Hindi. So if you see most of the websites, right, the corporate, private companies' websites are in English, and most of the utility and the public sector, yes, English, Hindi, and regional languages are there. So, but if you see Bangalore, I was just reading somewhere, there are around 30 plus languages are being spoken. So idea is we should not restrict users uh, talking to our companies in the language what we prefer. They should able to kind of talk to us in the language they prefer, right? And not even the language and the format, but also should be the accessibility and channel. If they don't have internet, but still there are around 40-50% people in India which they don't use internet frequently, so they prefer talking on phone, right? We cannot avoid phone, which we have been using since long. Not everyone can come to mobile app and website to kind of use it. Now WhatsApp is kind of growing. So if they're comfortable interacting with us in WhatsApp, let that be. I think now the industry has acknowledged that and they are adopting WhatsApp. So idea is any channel, any format, and any language. Now, if I go a little tech, any platform. That means now if I'm letting consumer to talk to a company in any way possible, it's just a matter of focusing to provide queries or resolutions to 70% of their request. So now, how about the employees in that companies if they have to say talk to the machines? So again, there can be a virtual assistant. We have done that using a bot, voice bot. You can even start the machine, stop the machine, and ask the machine, "What's the problem with you? Why the heck you are not starting?" So machine can say, "Hey, there is a problem. If paper is jam, if it's in the case of cigarette, or this kind of, there is a rod breaking issue or multiple issue. There can be thousands of issues. Interestingly, those machines know where is the issue. It's just about identifying, hey, this is the error code, or probably what's the issue and how do we fix it. So the idea is even the back end can be anything. So it's not just about FAQ. You ask a question, you get three answer, click and all that. Those are there. That's probably some small use cases have that need. But when we build the chatbots or the virtual assistants, when you really use the conversational AI platform, it should be deeply integrated with any backend system, whether it's IoT or it's maybe the railway system, the complex railway systems, or any e-commerce system, or any telecom or retail system, or any banking system, so that user user talks to any portal, whether it's e-commerce or banking portal or probably the travel portal, the way user talks to another person. You'll be kind of surprised to know in India, it's still 3% of the consumers who use e-commerce. I was told, and I kind of I was thinking it's 5%. It was 3, and after COVID it's 5. But when I checked the data around 7 to 8 days ago, it is still 3%. So only 3% of the people, and we think it's saturated market, so only two or three big players. No, we see the people. I'm sure the people who are got connected here, we all are privileged people. That is not the representation of critical mass, say in just India. And even by the way, US is not that advanced in that matter. US is still even 15% adoption. And how about say 97% people still go to Dukan, Kirana guy, or the merchant store to buy stuff? Why it is so? I think it's hard to believe, but this is a perception which we have built. Add to cart, checkout, all those things did not come to us normally. We learned fast, right? Not everyone can learn fast. So we live in the kind of society, the ecosystem we learn. But we think about rest 80-90% of the people where they stay. add to cart. And the kind of virtual assistants that we have created for e-commerce, it is as good as a consumer is talking to the kirana guy or the merchant guy. So the idea is you let user talk to any system. The user should not be worried about which language, user's language, and user should not be even worried about the lingos of add to cart and whatever the technology lingos which we have kind of uh, invented and used and made it complex for them. So users should just be the replica of the actual physical interaction happens. The same should be replicated in the web, and slowly we kind of move on. Yeah, so I think I could answer your question and add some perspective to it. Happy
Yeah.
for any other questions.
Thanks, Kush.